Hey, Facebook. Back in my mobile office, which is about the only office I have these days. I wanted to catch up with you on a few things. I didn't give anyone any notice about doing this today, but things are coming by fast and furious, and I wanted to catch you up on some transition things and also some local events. First of all, Sharon Hospital. You may know that there are a couple of meetings coming up for those of you who are engaged with that issue, which I hope is many of you, because we need as many of you as possible. As you may have heard, there's a meeting on Monday morning, which is December 3rd at 9 o'clock at Sharon Town Hall. That's a presentation from HealthQuest. That is a fairly routine presentation that was scheduled in the aftermath of the merger between Sharon Hospital and HealthQuest. So that'll be a chance to ask some questions and to hear their general presentation. And then there is a second meeting the next day, Tuesday, December 4th, in Danbury at 3:30 at Broadview Middle School. And that meeting is scheduled. It's being held by the Office of Healthcare Strategy. And the topic of that is the proposed merger between HealthQuest and Western Connecticut Health Network. And one of the reasons why it's very important, if you're at all able to attend that meeting, that we could really use you there, is because community presence, I think, will be very important. One of the issues of relevance for the Office of Healthcare Strategy to decide whether or not this merger is in the public interest relates to community engagement and whether this is an overall net positive for the community in terms of healthcare services. And I think we have rather a lot to say on that. I will have more specifics to say on it as the next days go through. But if you can attend, it is in Danbury at the Broadview Middle School at 3:30 on Tuesday. That's wonderful. If not, there is an opportunity to submit testimony. They will keep the record open to submit testimony on that until I think December 10th at midnight. And anything, if you have a personal story about how it's been important to have, local healthcare services at Sharon Hospital, that would be good to submit. Anything, any other experiences that you have, the important, maybe how it affected, why you moved to the area or had kids in the area, anything like that would be helpful to submit. And if you have questions about that, please reach out. You can reach out, send me a DM on Facebook, and we can talk about what kinds of topics would be helpful. So what else has happened in the last few weeks? We had a recount, as you all know, and I wanted just to start off again. I can't thank everybody enough who participated in the recount. It really was an extraordinary, it was tedious and stressful, particularly and mostly for the people who had to actually count the votes all over again, because I know some of them felt really under the gun as this huge group of lawyers and interested parties sat and surrounded them and looked over their shoulder as they did their work. And really, everybody did it, with extraordinary diligence and integrity and an absolute alignment in terms of interest. Everybody wanted an accountable, transparent, and accurate result. And we're all indebted for the tremendous service that the people who did that gave to our region. So many thanks to that. What else I've done in the last week or so, I've met with all 8 first selectmen in our district, and that has been a really privilege for me. These are people who are, extraordinarily dedicated to their towns, extraordinarily knowledgeable. I've learned a lot about the towns in terms of their relationship with the state and just in terms of the things that come up in town hall. I look forward actually to spending more time with the various people who work in town hall and do a lot of important work for all of us. We talked about how the various selectmen use regional organizations such as the Council of Governments, or the COG, the Council of Small Towns, which has also been useful, and how they do, the issues that are most challenging to various towns, and any legislation they're interested on, or anything that they need cleared up or clarification for the state. I mean, one of the overriding themes amongst all the towns is they really need some predictability with the way Connecticut handles the budget. it is extraordinarily difficult to for a small town to run a budget when you really don't know what the state aid is going to look like. So I'm hoping that we can work on that and help towns out. I've also met with a variety of constituents, organizations, who have reached out to me or to whom I have reached out. And that's been on a host of issues, on the environment, on municipal broadband, on gun safety, on car safety, small businesses of all kinds. And that's been really a great experience as well. And but there's a particular category in there of people that I really wanted to thank, which is I have had a lot of people have reached out to me who supported my opponent in the election, and I am deeply appreciative of the fact that you reached out to me and started a conversation, and sometimes that was out of maybe misperceptions about who I am and what I hope to do, and I've tried to meet with as many of you as possible and have continue a lot of those conversations, because I value the fact that you wanted to have a conversation, and I think they've been, and I now am very happy that I have a new set of cell phone numbers that I can call on various issues as they come up in the legislature. And I hope I can keep doing that. I've also scheduled office hours in all 9 towns before I am sworn in on January 9th. I am now really grappling firsthand with our geography, which we all know is challenging. First of all, because our district is rural and very spread out, and the towns themselves are not necessarily close to one another, and we're not close to Hartford, and that separates us from what's going on. And as the legislature starts to think about convening in January, there's a lot of conversation about what they're going to do, and I'm trying to keep a foot in both places, and hear the conversation in Hartford while also really listening to what's happening in the district. And that's challenging. I'm putting a lot of miles on my car, but I'm used to that from the campaign. So I have scheduled office hours in all 9 towns. I started this morning with Cornwall and Kent. In Cornwall, we met at the Cornwall Country Market, so thanks to James and Adela for accommodating us there, and also there's a regular group of people who have coffee in that back room every morning, and we merged with them, and that really made it an interesting conversation too. In Kent, we met at the Swift House, and also had a great conversation, both touch base on social service needs in each community, affordable housing, healthcare, sidewalks, you name it. A lot of really engaged people who want to see their towns do well, and particularly want to see the people in our towns do well. And that's a really satisfying thing. So just, this will be on, we'll put this out in various ways, but next week, I have on Monday, the 3rd, I will do office hours in Norfolk at 6 p.m. at the Norfolk Hub. On Tuesday, I'll be in Goshen at 8:30 at Goshenette. On Salisbury, at 8:30. Thursday, December 6th, I'll be in Salisbury at 8:30. The location is still being confirmed, so stay tuned. And then later that afternoon, also Thursday at 10, I'll be at Toymakers in Falls Village. So really looking forward to those as we really, try to hit the ground running in January. And other things in the future, I have a meeting with the speaker next week. Well, hopefully I'll get committee assignments. Looking forward to that. I asked for way more than I could possibly manage, so we'll see how that gets balanced out. The orientation for freshmen, it's been a long time since I've been a freshman, but my daughter is also a freshman in college, so we're sharing that. But my freshman orientation is on December 11th, and the swearing in is on January 9th. So lots to do between now and then. And the last thing I wanted to touch on was I have reached out to a few people in towns about events and organizations which are trying to make Christmas and the winter holidays a happy experience for all families. And as many of you know, for a lot of families, it is a very hard time of the year, as this inequities that we live in our community become really clear. And there are, I think, in pretty much every town, there is an organization or two that is trying to help smooth that out and deliver happy holidays to a lot of families. And so I just wanted to highlight the first two I heard from. I was in Kent the other day, and I spoke to Joyce at town hall, who told me about the Town of Kent's Santa Fund, in which they will connect you with a family and a wish list from a local family, and they're trying to collect those gifts by December 17th. So if you live in or near Kent and want to participate in them, please either call or stop by town hall and see if you can do that. And in Torrington, on Saturday the 2nd, there is a Torrington Stuff a Bus event, and that's gathering a lot of gifts of all kind for families in the Torrington area, and you can look that up on Facebook, and that's, I think, from 10 to 7 at Walmart. So I think that's a really way to make the holidays more meaningful, and if you can participate, great. And I look forward to trying to catch up with you on a weekly basis and just tell you what's happening, and as we get geared up for session to start in January. And I hope you have a great afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.